6 chill, for real.
Judah. This chapter will never leave Judah. This chapter will never leave Judah. This chapter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah. This chapter will never leave Judah. This chapter will never leave Judah. This chapter will never leave.
Shalom Israel. Shalom. Welcome to another class here with ISBHBK Houston. The school address is 8485 South Razor Boulevard, Houston, Texas, zip code 77071. The class times and days is Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m., Friday from 6 to 8 p.m., and Saturday Shabbat morning classes from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. Also, here in Texas, we got a school in San Antonio. The address out there is 4444 Walsham Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas, zip code 78218. Their class times and days pretty much the same as Houston, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. as well. We also got a school in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, and the address and class time and schedule out there is 2610 Grammy Street, Norfolk, Virginia, zip code 23517. Class times and days is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. as well. And also, we do have a congregation out in Rochester, New York. So if you got anybody in the Rochester, New York area, just hit us up. The number is 757-762-3917. Again, the number is 757-762-3917. And we'll send you the location to where we're holding class at out there in Rochester, New York. So, the class times and days out there in Rochester, New York is also Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right? And also, if you'd like to catch us, you can catch us on Blog Talk Radio. Brother Meshach, Priest Meshach, he's on blogtalkradio.com/Meshach. That is on the screen if you would like to find that. It's from Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 10 a.m. in the morning. You can definitely catch that in the morning. Also, we got other channels, the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, the 5 Minutes of Wisdom, the Hidden True Bible Show, and the Israelite Media Corp. Definitely like, share, and subscribe to all the channels. Like, share, and subscribe to, all the different schools in the area. Israel is back to accepting orders. So if you'd like to, hold on, let me slow down. I almost skipped it again. We're having kids class here in Houston on Sundays. So kids classes is here in Houston on Sundays starting at 1 o'clock. So if you got kids under the ages of 12, listen, bring them through, especially if they're in the area. And I think y'all do. Oh yeah, it is live. It's broadcast live. So listen, if you have kids, you can have them join in with the kids here in Houston, ages 12 and under, and they can catch kids class. The sisters do a good job putting together the kids classes, man, every Sunday. So definitely get your kids involved as soon as possible. And if you would like to get a garment made, Israel is back to accepting orders. Israel Wear is back to accepting orders, so definitely check that out. And also, if you'd like to get a monthly Fringed Up shirt through the Fringed Up subscription, it's $35 for just the shirt, $75 for the shirt and the headband. I need to get mine switched to the shirt and the headband, by the way. So yeah, I know we go over this every day, man. So every time we have class, So the flyer should be on the screen. There's Hebrew Academy in Rochester, New York, every Monday. There's Hebrew Academy in Virginia every Wednesday. And there's Hebrew Academy here in Houston every Tuesday. So if you're in the area, definitely come to the Hebrew class. Get the confidence up, breaking down the scriptures. Get the practice in, breaking down the scriptures. Get the practice in, reading. Just get the practice in developing as a priest in general. So, if you'd like to take part in the Hebrew Academy, it's definitely open and available, all right, for all the brothers out there. And if you'd like to contact any of the priests, we got Priest Quatazap. His number is 303-557-8979. And then we got Priest Kazakia. His number is 757-300-4047. Priest Kazakia is, of course, out there in Virginia. And Quatazap is, of course, here in Houston for another 24 hours before he goes out to New York. So, man. So I'll just say it real quick if he doesn't come through today. Quatazap will be in New York. He'll be heading out to New York tomorrow. So you won't be seeing Quatazap for 3 months. So if you don't see him, he's in New York. Zion has been in New York for the last 3 months. So if you notice you haven't seen Zion that much on the Virginia channel, it's because he's been out there with the congregation in New York for the last 3 months. So Quatazap is now going to go out there. Zion is going to come back. Kazakia was out there for 3 months before Zion went out there. So as you can see, man, the brothers is definitely sacrificing and packing up and leaving to teach, brothers and sisters that need it. So definitely need more brothers and sisters to step up. Right? Let me get one scripture just on that. One scripture just on that. And then, of course, we ask that you do support our business. The business is sweetambiance.com. The business is sweetambiance.com. If you would like to send in any donation links and the Wells Fargo and all that is on the screen. If you'd like to help out with the school rent, if you'd like to help out in any way, if you'd like to send in books, Bibles, Apocryphas, things of that nature, you can send them to any of the school addresses. So we'll go into this class. But real quick, before we do go into this class, I wanted to get one scripture. Somebody give me Luke chapter 10 and verse 2. Luke chapter 10 and verse 2. Again, like I was just saying, man, Kazakia did 3 months out there in Rochester with those brothers. Zion just did 3 months out there in Rochester with those brothers and sisters. Now Kazakia is going to go out there. Now Quatazap is going to go out there for 3 months with those brothers and sisters out there in Rochester, New York. So with that being said, go ahead and read this Luke chapter 10 and verse 2.
St. Luke chapter 10 verse 2.
Therefore
said he unto them,
go ahead.
The harvest is truly great.
You see that? So the harvest, man, the work, the rewards, everything that we got to take part in. It's great, man. It's a great reward that the Most High is going to give to us, right? Go ahead.
But the laborers are few.
But there's only a few laborers that's working. And it's just like when you look in a field. When you look in a field, you got, somebody that's farming the land. You'll think about it. Whenever y'all are on road trips and you see a huge farmland and you see crops and everything like that growing, it's rare that you ever see anybody actually working there. Am I right or am I wrong? You'll drive past a whole bunch of crops and stuff growing, and you can tell it's well taken care of. But it's rare that you ever see anybody taking care of it. And I'm just saying that just to say, the scripture says the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. You know what I'm saying? It's not that there's anybody taking care of it. It's just that it's a lot, and you'll have a few people taking care of it. So somebody will probably be there taking care of it, and you just don't see them. Hiding behind one of the bushes or something, right? So it's the same with the Most High's work, man. It's a lot of work to be done. But there's only a few brothers and sisters that actually want to take part and put their hands to the plow. But the reward is great. We all sit here and read about the rewards that we're going to get. And we all say it, man, we can't wait for the kingdom of heaven, right? We all say it. We can't wait to see America burn and the destruction of Esau. But who's actually putting their hands to the plow to make that happen? Not a lot of brothers and sisters. You see that? So I would like to say a big shout out, man, to the brothers that do sacrifice and that do, sacrifice and put in that work for our nation. For all the brothers and sisters that's given up and stepping forth and wanting to take part in the academy and showing up to class and being consistent and putting in that work, putting their hands to the plow. Big shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? So it says, but the laborers are few. Go ahead.
Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he would send forth laborers into his harvest.
Yeah, man. Pray to the Lord that he'll send forth more laborers into the harvest. Why? Because the more laborers, the more brothers and sisters you have that's willing to put their hands to the plow, the less of a burden it is on everybody else. And, if you have two, it's better to have 4 people working than 2, right? It's better to have 40 people than working than 20, right? You get a lot more done. So, yeah, man, big shout out to those brothers and sisters. Listen, man, big shout out to brothers and sisters that's anywhere that's watching and trying to fight, man, and trying to be an example unto their nation. I definitely don't want to leave nobody out. So yeah. So with that being said, today's class title is The Ways of Death. The Ways of Death. Right? And it's very simple. It's a very simple thing that causes death. Right? So there's many different deaths, right? Let me start off with a definition of death, because we already kind of have an idea what death is, right? But I'll give you all a definition. It says the manner of dying. That's death, right? The matter of dying. Something being destroyed. For the most part, we know what death is. But I don't want us to just think shallowly like, oh yeah, death, your heart stopped beating. Now you're in a casket. Your spirit going up to the Most High. Not just talking about that. Why? Because there's more than just that death. There's a lot of deaths that happen in our lives, right? A lot of brothers and sisters, like the old man is supposed to be dying. You're supposed to be putting that to death, right? But think about it. In the world, we were dying. The scripture says that we were dead when we were in the world. Why is that? Because we were breathing air. You were eating food. You were sleeping. But why did the scripture say that we were dead? Anybody. Online, in class. Ramiro, what you got?
We weren't in the spirit.
We weren't in the spirit. Elaborate.
We weren't in the spirit. We were walking in the path that the Most High wanted us to walk through and in. And we didn't have the knowledge or the wisdom either.
God.
We're just like walking dead, like the show, walking dead.
Walking dead. What else? Anybody? That's a great answer. Derek, what you got?
We were dead to our heritage, dead to who we were, because we don't know dead to our nationality.
Yep.
Because we don't know who we are, so we're dead to that.
Another good answer. Anybody else? I'll go into it. We were dead. And all you got to do is just look in the world. And you'll see death all around us. Our people are dead, especially right now, because we don't have a standard. It's like yesterday when we were in class, not yesterday, 2 days ago, on Monday when we were in class, right? I had said that a person that doesn't believe in the Bible, they're liable to do anything. Why? Because they don't have a standard. They don't have a way of living. So yeah, you might not believe in the Bible, you might not be a murderer, but I damn sure believe you can be a murderer. You know what I'm saying? You might not be a homosexual, but I damn sure believe you can be a homosexual. Why? Because you're not living by a standard. You're not living by a law. So when you're not living by the Most High standard in His law, then what are you living by? Because there's only two choices. There's life and death. There's the Most High and righteousness. And you have Satan and wickedness. So if you're not living by the Most High's standard, which is life and righteousness, then you're living by Satan's, which is death, right? So when you look at death, especially in our community, especially in the Israelite community, when you look at us, we don't prosper at anything. We don't prosper at anything at all. Where's the Israelite-owned businesses? Where's it at?
Dead.
It's dead. It's dead. You know what I'm saying? We got taco trucks. Don't get me wrong. We got taco trucks. We might have a restaurant or two. We might have a barbershop or two. A little hairstylist spot or two, right? Mm-hmm. But think about it. Where's our damn Walmarts? Where's that at? Where's our convenience stores? And you know what I'm saying? We don't have that. So as far as our economy, as far as Israelites having an economy, we don't have a damn economy. It's dead. You see what I'm saying? What is the divorce rate in the Israelite communities? Anybody know? I think it was like close to 70%, if I'm not mistaken. Close to 70%. So what is that showing you? Our relationships are dead. Do I even have to talk about our children? Our children are dead. Where's the mentality? Where's the mind state of our people? It's dead. When you see an Israelite man walking around, he's tattooed from head to toe, or she's tattooed from head to toe. The pants is sagging. The short shorts is extremely short, and the skirt. Like, me and the middle saw a chick when we were moving his spot the other day, and it was like, what the hell? Why the hell did you come out the house like that? And it was raining. What was the point of, she had on rain boots? What was the point of having on rain boots when you weren't even, like, the rain boots covered more than everything. What was the point? I don't get it. I don't get it.
And actually, it was a plastic bag.
It was a plastic bag?
Yeah, there was a plastic bag taped up.
See, she had plastic bags over her feet. But she didn't think to put clothes on her body. So, all I'm saying is that our people are dead, right? So what causes death? Let's see. Let's go to the first scripture. The first scripture is Ecclesiastes Chapter 5 and verse 2. What causes death? Like, think about it. I just want y'all to think, like, literally every aspect of our lives is dead. Let me ask y'all a question, man. What y'all eat today? Anybody? Who's brave enough to say what they ate today? Even online. Don't lie. Nobody lied. Put out what you ate today. Jeremiah.
Eggs and bananas.
Eggs and bananas. In the middle.
For breakfast, I ate egg. For lunch, I ate roast beef. Yeah, roast beef.
You had three. I said, God.
Elijah.
Turbo wheat, raisin bread, and trail mix.
Bro, but Elijah, for some reason, you're, how old are you again?
10.
Listen, y'all, Elijah's 10 years old, and Elijah's like already drinking tea. And knows like different teas to drink. Like, I don't even want to ask you. Because your diet is not death. You know, but I ask because even what we consume, even what we eat is death. What did y'all watch on TV today? Anybody even watch TV? But TV is what? Everything on TV is what? Death. Yashkar said ice. It's real. Yashkar, you had to thug it out today, huh?
I ain't got no fish.
You don't got no fish?
Ain't no fish today, buddy.
Come on, man. Look, see? Shania Bond. My man, Shania Bond. Thank you, Shanya. Somebody's gonna keep it real. Shanya had pizza. He had death. He ate death today. Everybody's gonna act like they ate life. Shanya kept it real. He ate death. He ate death. Bakar Gabar kept it real. He ate death. Sushi, as long as it was cooked sushi, pizza and wings. You know, they kept it real. But I'm saying that why? Because for the most part, our diet is death. The TV we watch is death. The music we listen to is death. Who here likes their jobs? You got one. We got another. Romero, put your hand down. You work with the brothers. He works with the brothers. That don't count.
Okay.
Everybody likes working with the brothers. We got one person in here that actually likes their job. And she put her hand up like right here. But our jobs is what? Death. Everything about our lives is death, man. So, only watch the news. I was listening to Blog Talk most of the day. Kind of made up for the food. So let's go into the class, man. Ecclesiastes Chapter 5, verse 2. This is what causes death. Especially now that we know about the truth. Irritate me. This is what causes death for Israelites. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 5, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Follow not thine own mind
Uh-huh.
and thy strength
Mm-hmm.
to walk in the ways of thy heart.
Now, why would the scripture say that? Read it again, Derek.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 5, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Follow not thine own mind.
Scripture says to follow not your own mind. And this is one of the hardest things to do. Believe it or not, is to not follow your own mind. Especially when you're young in the truth. And this is all you know is to follow your mind. To follow what you were taught, what you were trained up to be your whole life. It's very hard not to follow your own mind. But see, this is what we're breaking out of. You know the truth. You know what tribe you're from. You know about the law, statutes, and commandments. This is the fight right here. When it says follow not your own mind, think about it. Who are you fighting? Yourself. You're fighting the old man. And you're not like physically fighting a fleshly thing. It's your mind. It's your mind that you're fighting. So right now, like, it's all good. It's all gravy. You in class. Everything is good. Your mind is in the scriptures. You got the Bible open. It's all good, right? You watching class online, it's all good. But once class turns off, once you leave the school, and it's just you and your mind, a lot of us don't even realize like it's a war. A lot of times we'll think like our health will be deteriorating and we'll be hungry as hell. And we don't ever think like, you know what, let me fast. Let me pray before I eat. Let me set up a meal plan. We don't ever think like that. We don't even realize that we're in a battle. That we're in a spiritual battle of life and death. It's just, man, you know, I'm driving past this taco truck and they're fast at making their food. I know y'all don't have taco trucks everywhere, but in Texas, taco trucks are huge. It's 12 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, the taco truck is popping. You like, let me hit the taco truck. You're like, let me hit the taco truck. You're driving past a burger or a fast food spot, it's like, let me just hit the burger. Let me just hit the spot. No second thought of what it is that you're eating and how bad it is. You know? And then even if you look at your job, you'll be at your job and you'll get into some form of, somebody at your job is pissing you off, especially for those that work on the phone. Somebody at your job is pissing you off or you working at customer service. And then what happens? You just go with the first inclination of whatever irritates you or pisses you off and you roll with that spirit. You don't ever think about like the repercussions of it. You don't ever think about what might happen. You just react by the way of what? Death. You got an argument, husband and wife arguing or butting heads or fighting. Ain't nobody thinking like, okay, so somebody got to be humble now. Somebody got to humble down. Ain't nobody thinking that. It's like, man, you pissed me off. I'm going in on, we going at it. Nobody's thinking like, let me humble myself. Nobody's thinking like, the kids are listening. The kids are in the back. You just think they're playing the video games, but really they're listening. Like, damn, mom and dad is going at it again. You see what I'm saying? But why does this happen? Well, it happens because we just follow our minds all the time. There's not a fight. There's not a resistance. Whenever anything presents itself, whenever Satan presents himself, especially because Satan is an opportunist, so the opportunity presents itself, and we don't fight back. We just follow our minds. It leads to death. That's why there's so many things in our lives that's deteriorating. And nothing should be deteriorating right now. With us knowing the truth and being in a camp and being in a body and getting class 6 days a week, there should only be growth in every aspect of our lives. You see what I'm saying? Only growth. It shouldn't be nothing spiritually deteriorating. Everything should be blessings and growth. But if there's death happening, if there's things that's deteriorating, then we have to stop, take a step back, look and examine and see what the hell is going on. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of the times it's us following our own carnal minds and not applying the scriptures. So it says, don't follow your mind to walk in the ways of your heart. We're going to see why. Somebody give me Jeremiah chapter 17 and 9.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things.
You see that? The heart is deceitful above all things. Read that again.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
The heart is deceitful above all things.
And I'm going to show y'all how the heart is deceitful. See, the heart, it's like I was talking about earlier. Not to put anybody on blast, but your heart will deceive you and make you make excuses for not following the laws of the Most High. Your heart will deceive you and make you feel like this is all I got. So this is what I have to do. It's just like somebody that robbed somebody. Did you have to rob somebody? My kids got to eat. But did you have to rob somebody for your kids to eat? No, you didn't have to rob somebody to eat to have something to eat. That's your mind deceiving you into thinking you got to rob that nigga. You're gonna rob another brother in the hood that's suffering just like you. You see what I'm saying? Your mind plays tricks on you. Instead of you fighting, instead of you thinking, instead of you asking for help if you need help, what does your mind do? It plays tricks on you. You don't got to do that. You don't got to ask. Most High knows your heart. Most High knows this is all you got. Right? That's how your mind will play with you. You'll be fighting against whatever it is that you're fighting. Whatever it is that your weakness is. Everybody think about their weakness right now. Think about the one thing that you're weak at, that you suck at. What is it? Your anger? What is it? Your pride? What is it? Your confidence? What is it? Your contention? You like contention? You like arguing? Like Cardi B said, you got to have a toxic chick. You like being a toxic chick. You like being a toxic man. What is it that you like to fight? That you're weak at. Now think about whenever the opportunity, or think about whenever that weakness presents itself. What happens? Like the brother Bakar Gabar says, you look for the easy way out. A lot of the times when the things that are weak presents itself to us, we don't fight. We just go ahead and give in. Or we make excuses and we're like, you know what, the Most High, He understands that this is what I'm battling with. I just can't put the blunt down. I can't put the blunt down. The Most High understands that I'm going through this. I'm going to smoke it one more time. And what do? We make excuses. Why? Because our mind tricks us. It's very deceitful. And we'll feel like, you know what, the Most High died for me. I have mercy, I have grace. I have mercy, I have grace. So He understands. He understands. So when I smoke this blunt and I get high as hell and my kids don't have no damn diapers, He's going to understand. No, the hell He's not. So guess what, man? Whenever the Most High lays down something for you, don't let your mind, whenever the Most High lays down a law, the same way you can't go to a police officer. If you ran the red light because you had to take a piss, right? You had to take a piss really bad and you finna piss yourself, and you ran that red light and the police officer pulls you over. You like, I had to take a piss really bad. It seems like a viable excuse, right? Weren't no cars coming. And you're like, I gotta run this red light. Ain't nobody gonna get hurt. No cars is coming. I'm gonna run it. I gotta go use the restroom. And the police officer pulls you over. What is he gonna say? Can you tell the police officer I gotta use the restroom? Is he gonna not give you a ticket? He's still gonna give you a ticket, right? So even though your excuse will sound good in your mind, the law is the law. So guess what, man? If it says don't eat pork, you can't eat pork. You can't eat pork. There's always an option. The Most High always gives us choices to make. You see what I'm saying? Always. So don't read Jeremiah 17:9 again.
Crime. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9.
Go ahead.
The heart is deceitful above all things.
Yeah, and we got to see, man, that the mind is deceitful above all things. That's where Satan likes to play, man. That's why the scripture says, follow not your own mind. You know, it's funny. I went to Chick-fil-A the other day, and this cat gave me a pork sandwich. It's like, remember when we went to Chick-fil-A? This was Monday. I took Benaiah home. We stopped at Chick-fil-A. Yeah, homie gave me a pork sandwich. Did you hear me order a pork sandwich? Man, I unwrapped that little chicken sandwich, bro, and I saw pork. I'm like, damn, and I'm really hungry right now. And I see that pork sandwich, I'm like, bruh, ain't no second thought. Ain't no like, I'm going to take the bacon off and eat it. It goes right in the trash. But see, if your mind isn't strong enough, what is your mind going to do? What is your mind going to do, I should say? Nigga, you hungry? Eat that. Eat that. Take the pork off and eat it.
It's not your fault.
So that ain't your fault. That's how Satan goes sound.
Yeah.
Bro, you better eat that. You spent money on that. You know what I'm saying? But why? The mind is deceitful above all things, man. So this is what we're trying to control. This is what we're trying to control. So the title of the class, once again, is called The Ways of Death. And the first place that death starts is in your mind. It is in your mind. Whenever anything is deteriorating and dying around your life, it started off in your mind. Remember, the trial of man is where? In the mind. What is a trial? Something that you're going through. A trial is something that you're going through. So it starts in the mind. That's why when you look at this generation that's coming, this is the generation of death that's coming, man. Why? Because Esau has literally destroyed the minds of the kids that's coming up. He single-handedly destroyed these kids' minds, man. I actually see a child outside right now riding a bike. I don't know when's the last time I saw that. But he's not in the neighborhood. He's out on the streets. You know, but the minds of the kids is destroyed. The minds of just anybody, of everybody is destroyed. So that's why there's so much depth. So the scripture says the heart is deceitful above all things. Go ahead.
And desperately wicked.
Go ahead.
Who can know it?
Who can know it? Only the Most High can know it. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and verse 2. Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 verse 2. So we got to look at the choices that we're making in life, man. We got to really examine our lives and see where is the good and where is the bad in our lives. And the things that's bad, we got to examine it, man, and see that our choices and our decision makings when it comes to that isn't good. Read Ecclesiastes 6 and 2.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 verse 2. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart.
Yeah, man. Don't lift yourself up in your mind. Hell nah. Don't lift yourself up. You better lift yourself up in the scriptures. In the scriptures of the Most High. But if you lift yourself up in your mind, you're going to die. But look what it's going to say. Read on.
That thy soul be not torn in pieces
Uh-huh.
as a bull,
bro. That way your soul doesn't get ripped apart. Never extol yourself. Never lift up your own mind. Never go into your mind and just roll with the way that your mind is rolling. Why? Because you're gonna destroy yourself. Why do you think there's so much depression right now? Has anybody ever been depressed? Anybody been depressed? I've been depressed. I'm not scared to admit it. Got a brother, got a sister. Now, see, look, after like 2 or 3 people, everybody's like, hell yeah. It's not just me. Everybody's been depressed at some point, right? But think, where does the depression start? Your mind. And where does it end? It ends in your mind too. But sometimes it ends with death, right? But what happens? What happens during depression? And you got to really stop and think about it. Like right now with us being in the truth. If you're depressed in the truth, what the hell do you have to be depressed about? Not saying you won't get depressed being in the truth. Because Satan is definitely an asshole. He definitely likes to play with people. But if you're depressed in the truth, you're not supposed to dwell on it. You're supposed to remember what it is that the Most High is calling you for. If you're depressed in the truth, you're probably kicking against the pricks. You're probably fighting against what your calling is. You're not happy where the Most High has you. You probably looking back at the world and wishing you were a part of the world. Honestly, if you're depressed being in the truth. You lost the vision. You lost the focus. But if you've been depressed being outside of the truth, or if you think about your past life when you was depressed, how does depression start? You ever just sat back and think like, man, how does depression start? This is the one thing that we have to get better at as a people. Now, being wise, the one thing that the Most High is teaching us how to do, that America never taught you how to do, was to actually think. That's why when you went to school, first of all, that's why you have multiple choice in school. Think about it. Y'all ever had to take a test and it wasn't y'all ever had to take a test that wasn't multiple choice? Nah, come on. There was times when we had to take tests that weren't multiple choice, where you just had to know the answer. Where what's it called?
I think they're called open-ended questions or something.
Open-ended questions, where it's like it was just a question, no answer choice, just a question. Those suck, right? But why do they suck? Because you literally had to use your mind. You couldn't look at all the little different multiple choices and be like, okay, I know it ain't this. I know it ain't this one. It has to be between these two. Because whenever you looked at the 4 choices that the multiple choice questions gave you, 2 of them was always all the way off. And then it always came to 2 of them that was kind of similar that you had to decide what it was. But when you have an open-ended question, all you were stuck with was thinking. See, America didn't teach us to think as a nation. America didn't teach us how to run a diagnostics test on ourselves, how to troubleshoot ourselves. So whenever we would get depressed, whenever something would come up, we weren't taught to like really sit and be like, damn, why the hell am I feeling like this? What the hell is going on right now? Why am I feeling like this? Why? I'm blessed. The Most High got me. Why am I second questioning the Most High? We weren't taught to do that. What we were taught to do is, damn, I feel bad right now. Let me keep thinking on why I'm feeling bad. What is making me feel bad? Let me just get completely engulfed in that. Let me drink a beer to compound it. Let me pop some pills. Let me smoke some weed. We weren't taught to confront our problems. Let me go to the club. Let me play the game. Let me sleep it off. Let me eat it off. We weren't taught to confront our problems. You see what I'm saying? So whenever we would get depressed, there'll be something that we're looking at that's causing the depression, and we don't ever fight it. We don't ever be like, man, screw that. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to talk about that. We don't do that. We always just sit there and think about what it is that's making us depressed. Like, I'll give an example. Say right now you wished that you was in, I don't know, But the Bahamas, right? Well, guess what? You're not in the Bahamas. So I sit here and think about, like, damn, I really wish I was in the Bahamas. I could have been doing this. I could have been doing that. But instead, I'm here. Hot ass Houston. 95 degrees. Water dirtier than the water in my toilet. Water dirty as hell. I gotta go to work. I gotta get up. I gotta do all this. We'll sit here and literally dwell on these things. You see what I'm saying? When it's like, why dwell on it? We can't change it. So why dwell on it? Why sit here and dwell on the fact that we are literally in captivity? Just do what you got to do to get out of it. You have to work a job. You got to get up in the morning and go work a job, right? For the wives, right? You got to get up in the morning and feed your kids and feed your husband and go to work and get off of work and then feed your kids and then feed your family again and then do laundry and then clean your house, right? And keep your family happy and get in the scriptures and come to class and watch class. You got to do that. That's just life. But guess what? A lot of women will hate that. A lot of women will hate that life. But that's what the Most High gave you. So why would that make you depressed? You will really sit there and be like, man, I wish I was in the Bahamas right now. Right? And we'll make ourselves depressed off of that. But what is it? It's our mind. It's our mind that's playing with us. Because we can't change it. Because guess what? You don't want to take care of your kids. You don't want to take care of the kids and your husband. Then what's going to happen? If you don't want to take care of your kids and your husband, what's going to happen? Sis?
Are you speaking like of when we're in the truth, if we don't want to do that?
Just in general.
Well, I say in the truth, like if we don't want to step up to our role, the Most High will take that from us.
God.
He'll take our children and our kids.
Exactly. That's in the truth and in the world. You don't want to take care of your kids and your husband as a wife, the Most High is going to take it from you. Right? You don't want to get up to go to work. You hate your job and your job is pissing you off, and it's not like you're like, you know what, let me look for another job, or let me try to think of making my own business. That way I don't have to go to a job. Right? You hate your job and your job is depressing you. But what happens if you quit? And you don't have another job? What happens?
You can't pay the bills.
You can't pay the bills, and you can't pay the bills. What happened? You don't have no lights, and then you don't have no lights, and then what happens?
No house.
You don't have no house, and then what happens? What happens after not having a house?
Homeless.
You homeless, and then what happens when you homeless? I'm gonna keep going. What's gonna happen when you homeless? You've lost, huh? And then what happens when you get sick? You die. Damn, Jeremiah. You just get sick and die like damn. Makan, why am I saying all that? Well, I'm saying all that because we'll be depressed off of just life and the conditions that the Most High has us in. Remember, man, we cause these conditions. That's a lot of times I wake up and I'm like, damn, bro, I'm really up at 5 a.m. right now. I'm tired as hell. I'm sleepy. God, right? It's 5 a.m. You tired as hell. And you like, golly, bro. On to the plantation. On to the plantation, right? But why are we here? Well, we're here because we screwed ourselves. We screwed ourselves, and the Most High has us in a position where we're learning to be, what's the word that I'm looking for? You know when you give something to somebody, but they didn't have to work for it, so they don't care? You give your son a car, but he ain't never had to work for nothing his whole life.
Appreciative.
Yeah, appreciative. The Most High has us in this position so that we can learn to be appreciative of everything that he gives us. Because he gave us everything and we screwed it all up. We showed a lack of appreciation when we had it all. So now we're in this life where he's teaching us to appreciate everything. Why? Because we have to work our asses off for everything that we have. You see what I'm saying? You got to work your ass off to keep your family. You got to work your ass off to keep the peace for the family. You got to work your ass off to keep the peace between the brotherhood and the sisterhood. You got to work your ass off to make sure that you're presentable unto the Most High. You got to work your ass off. It's not just, he's teaching us to appreciate everything. So when we get up in the morning and you got to go to work and you tired as hell, well, guess what? You're going to really appreciate it when the kingdom comes and you don't have to get up. And the Edomite might wake you up like, Derek. You're like, what, bro? Why you going to wake me up? And he's like, your eggs are getting cold, Derek. The fish is getting cold. And why did you make it? Right? That's going to be in the kingdom. But right now, we got to wake up. We got to be the ones that wake up and go make the fish and eggs for Esau, right? But we're going to appreciate it when we're in our kingdom and we don't have to wake up. But I'm saying all this to say, man, why would we make our minds tear us to pieces in this life right now that we're living? Why? You got to get up and go to work. You don't work, you don't eat. You have to provide for your household. Because if not, guess what? The bills don't get paid. You end up being homeless. You end up being sick and dying like Jeremiah says, right? So it's natural. We have to do it. So why do we make that depress us? Why do we make that depress us? Why do we make that drive us crazy? Like, damn, I have to get up and do what the Most High ordained for us to do. He ordained us to be in this captivity because we screwed up. Why would we screw ourselves in the mind when the Most High ordained duties for us, husbandry, for us to do as men, and duties for us as women that have to do? Why would we depress ourselves over that? You know what I'm saying? Why would we go against the order that the Most High laid down? Like, man, no. Yahweh Shai, man, woman, child, animals, whatever, right? That's the order that the Most High laid down. Why would we make that order be a problem in our lives to where now there's strife in the house? You see what I'm saying? Why would we do that? There.
Why? Because we're watching the other nations. And we're not understanding why it is we're in the position we're in. So we're still thinking about the onions and the garlic.
Yeah.
Like how we were in Egypt. We still were looking at the other nations, want to be like them. Aspiring to being like, Esau. Aspiring to be like these Caucasian races who own everything. So we get depressed watching these other nations not having to work as hard as we do. So we want to, be like them. But we're not them.
And I'm so glad that you brought that out, man, because you said it, bro. In Egypt, we were complaining about onions and garlic. Now, a brother like me don't even like garlic. I might put a clove or two in the food. And I know a lot of people that like garlic, but me, I don't like garlic. I don't even like onions like that, right? But think about it. Like, who the hell fights over onion and garlic? How much is a clove of garlic in the grocery store? Cents. How much is onions in the grocery store? Cents. So we was tripping over nothing. We was tripping over cents, Brian. We were tripping over cents. But the Most High is showing us that. Why? Because it's the same thing that we do here. I say it all the time, bro. I've been saying it a lot recently. We trip over, like, I look at these rappers and they sell out and they leave the hood and they finally get these nice ass houses, right? But the houses ain't really nice. American houses ain't nice. They're made out of wood. And that water is going to leak through that wood at some point. You're going to have to fix that roof at some point. But when you leave America and you see these houses that's made out of straight concrete, where a tornado going to hit and that house is not going to fall, where that house can completely catch on fire, but the inside of the house might burn up all your furniture and stuff, but those walls is going to stay 100% fine, you're just going to have to paint them over. we'll literally trip over the Kmart Kingdom of America. That just looks good on the outside, but on the inside, it's trash. You'll look at a Beyonce and Jay-Z, and you'll be like, relationship goals, right? What relationship goal is Beyonce and Jay-Z? What relationship goal is that? Jay-Z said it himself. He can't even walk his kid to the park. That's what you would want? But think about it. Jay-Z wouldn't even walk his kid to the park. He don't care about that. He care about money. You'll look at Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, and you'll be like, relationship goals. But what relationship goal is that? Look at the son. Look at his son. And then his son that isn't gay, I watched him playing basketball, and he wanted to fight his dad because his dad was beating him in basketball. So, what is that showing you? Like, you want to fight your own father over a game? Over a game? It shows you it's not relationship goals. So we always fall for the booby prize, man. We fall for the booby prize, and we let our minds rip us into pieces. Go to Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. Go to Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. Oh man, Rasadeen. I was gonna read it, but I missed it. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12.
Go ahead.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
You see that? So, first three scriptures. Follow not your own mind. The heart is deceitful above all things. Extol not thyself in thine own counsel. And why? Why all that? Read Proverbs 14 and 12 again.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
You see that? So the way that seems right to us is the ways of death. And what is a way? A way is how you do things. I want to do it my way. I want to do things my way. Well, the scripture is showing you that your way, our way, naturally, as humans, as Israelites, are ways of death. Are ways of death, man. So check this out. Go to John. Go to John 14 and 6.
John chapter 14, verse 6. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way.
You see that? Yahweh Shai said, He's the way. He's the way. Read on.
The truth.
The truth.
And the life.
And the life. And it says that what we just read in Proverbs 14 and 12 was, there's a way that seemeth right unto the man, but those are the ways of death. So this is showing you, Yahweh Shai said He's the way, right? His way of doing things, His way of thinking is the right way. And guess what? His way is naturally contrary to our way. Why? Because Yahweh Shai's way was the way of the Father. It was the spiritual way. But we always naturally want to revert to the carnal way. So Yahweh Shai is showing us that His way is the way of truth and of life. So our ways is the ways of death. So we always have to filter everything that we do through the scriptures. Go ahead.
No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
No man cometh to the Father but by me. Why? Why? Because Yahweh Shai was the only one that really knows the Father and is going to know the right way of doing things. So our way is going to lead us where? To death. Our way as Israelites without the wisdom, without the Spirit, is going to lead us to death. You see that? Let's go to Ecclesiastes 3 and 24. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 24. Somebody give me some water.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinions.
You see that? Read that again.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
You see that? And this is where I wanted to get to. This is the scripture that I actually wanted to get to. What is an opinion? Somebody look up the definition of opinion. Opinion. Somebody look up the definition of opinion. Huh? Oh, Elijah. He had his hand up. What's up?
Something that you think.
Something that you think. Anybody else? What's up, Yashkar?
Opinion.
Uh-huh.
In 1828.
Okay.
The judgments which the mind forms of any proposition.
Of any proposition. What is the judgment? When it says the judgment which the mind forms of any proposition, all the judgment is choices. It's your decision making. Like when you get judged in the court, the judge is letting you know what her decision is or what his decision is for you. When the Most High judges you, he's letting you know what his decision is for you. You see what I'm saying? So your judgment, which the mind forms of any proposition, is your decision for any proposition that is brought to you. Go ahead.
Statement. Theory or event.
You see that? Theory or event. So anything that's brought to you, your opinion is however way you feel. It's whatever choices you're making for anything that is brought to you. You see that? Go ahead.
Falsehood, of which is supported by a degree of evidence that renders it probably.
And that's what's cold. You'll look at whatever it is that's brought to you, and you'll make your choice off of whatever evidence is brought to you. Whether the evidence is a little bit or whether it's a lot. Sometimes your opinion is just right. But a lot of times our opinions is what? Wrong. But we'll have some form of evidence there, and we're like, oh my God, this is right. This is right. The stubbornness of Israelites without the wisdom. Our opinions, our mind plays tricks on us, and our minds will literally make things appear that's not even there. It'll literally make things become evidence that's not even evidence. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way how Esau would literally be like, they'll put a whole bunch of men in a lineup and they'll make a person choose the wrong person on purpose just to lock somebody up. It's like false evidence. That's what our minds be doing to us. They be giving us false evidence, man. And that's what happens with these opinions. And then what happens when we start doing that? The little bit of evidence that might present itself, we run with it. But isn't that how Satan works? Come on, man. If it was too easy, if something was too easy, you're not going to get it wrong. Like 2 + 2. What does that equal?
4.
2 + 2 is 4. It's easy. Who's going to miss that? But what's 2 times x equals 4?
3 times 2.
2 times 2. Well, you see how you had to think about it? You had to think about it a little bit. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't even know if that's right. I don't even know if that's right. But that's what Satan will do. He'll make something that's easy. He'll plant something there to make you think and second guess yourself. And now it throws off your decision making. And it's the same thing. Something that's not easy, he'll make it seem easy. And he'll give you a little bit of evidence to make you feel like this is easy. And then you just make the wrong choice. Because you thought that it was easy when it was not. When this situation required more attention than what you gave it. It required more, what is it when you like look, when you're investigation, I guess. I'm going to use the word investigation. This situation required more of an investigation or required more thorough research. But Satan will make it seem like it's, nah, bro, it's right here. No, the hell it's not. And we see that all the time. Where? In our own relationships. She'll come home and he'll be like, damn, something's wrong with you. Babe, what's up? What's wrong? Nothing. Okay, all right.
I'll say it.
Now say it. Knowing damn well ain't nothing. Knowing damn well something's wrong with you. You see what I'm saying? But we'll get deceived. Read Ecclesiastes 3:24 again. Let's get back on point.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 3, verse 24.
Go ahead.
For many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Kind. So a lot of us, man, we get deceived by the way we feel things should go. We get deceived. We get deceived by what the Most High has us going through. Does anybody here second guess where the hell they're at right now? You don't second guess where the Most High has you, right? So why would you second guess the process? Why would you have an opinion against the method, the order, the process, the way that the Most High has laid down? Why would we really second question what it is that the Most High has us doing? This path that the Most High has us walking down. We'll get deceived. And then we'll start formulating things in our mind like, damn, am I really supposed to be with him? Why did the Most High put me with him? Why does the Most High have me with her? You'll really start second questioning and second guessing and having opinions on stuff that doesn't require an opinion. You see that? Read on, Benai.
And an evil suspicion
hath
overthrown their judgment.
Yeah, man. And that evil suspicion or evil opinion, it starts to overthrow our judgment, which again is just our decision making. It starts to overthrow our decision making. And what is supposed to be our decision making? WWYD. What would Yahweh Shai do? That's our decision making. That's our proper judgment. But that evil suspicion, that evil opinion, that evil thought process, I think it should go this way. I don't like the way it's going. It overthrows our decision making. And what does it do? It leads us to death. Read on, Benai? No, don't read on. Go to Proverbs chapter 12, verse 15. Yashkar, do you have your hand up?
Oh, I have a slight little precept on what you were talking about, like on our decision making and everything like that.
Bring it out.
So this is the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. And this right here is definitely a banger. Mm-hmm. So it goes on to say, have not I commanded thee? And this is something that we've been meditating on, especially as soldiers and men of this school, of this camp, and under the Most High. So this is an order, this is a commandment, this is an instruction. Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. So obviously it's going to start with the mental. You was going over scriptures that say the heart is deceitful among many. So there's no, within the commandment given to us, any inkling of an inch to say, you know what, I'm not going to be strong. I'd rather be scared. I'd rather be scared than have courage. Mm-hmm. It goes on to say, be not afraid, but see, that tends to happen. We not knowing, we understand, us here online, us here in class, that Ecclesiasticus Chapter 2 says, prepare thyself for temptation. Mm-hmm. Make not haste in the time of trouble, right? Cleave unto him, that in thy last end thou may be increased. But we forget that, right? Mm-hmm. Again, it goes to say, be not afraid, but in crazy situations, whether at work, whether at home, whether walking into a store, something sideswipes us because Satan is seeking whom he can devour and destroy, and just put a seed of doubt. Yep. Neither be thou dismayed. Now, this was the point I wanted to get to. Neither be thou dismayed. And that is going to say on, like, why you second guessing? Why you being double-minded? Why you even scared to stay on the path within your heart, within the scriptures? Mm-hmm. But this is just what just came to my mind as you was just going over and edifying what you were saying right now.
And one thing that you said that I liked was doubt. Because y'all know what doubt is? Dawam said this one time, and Dawam said this way back, and I always remembered it. Doubt is the beginning of death, pretty much. And this class is titled The Ways of Death. So what is... This class is titled The Ways of Death. We just hit John chapter 14, right? Where Yahweh Shai, chapter 14 and 6, where Yahweh Shai said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So what does your mind do? That makes you turn from the way and the truth and the life that Yahweh Shai presented to you. It makes you doubt where the hell you're walking. That's all Satan do, man. He makes you doubt it. And where does doubt start? Doubt starts in your mind. Whenever you doubt anything, you're pretty much done. You're pretty much done, bro. Because now you second question yourself. As soon as doubt comes in and you let it linger, that's it. That's it, man. You're done. And you know what's crazy? You know how you know doubt is a spirit? Because when it hops on you, people can see it. Damn, she's doubtful. Damn, he's doubtful. He doubts himself in this. She doubts herself in this. Y'all see that? Doubt, man, it's a spirit, and you can see it. You can see it. It's just like the homosexual spirit. You can see it. Why can you see it? Because that man starts walking in a way that a woman doesn't even walk. Like, women don't even walk like that. Women don't walk with their chest punched out. And the way a gay guy walks, like, women don't even walk like that. That's a whole spirit that's on this person. You see that? And you can see it. Just like when Saul had a spirit on him. It said that his servants, they looked at him and they was like, bro, you have an evil spirit on you. Go get David. Go get somebody to play the harp to remove this evil spirit. So whenever somebody doubts, you can see it. It's there. You see what I'm saying? But doubt is death. Now go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 verse 20. No, yeah, go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 verse 14. Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 verse 14.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 verse 14. For a man's mind is sometime wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen.
Now, I want y'all to ask yourselves. I want y'all to keep it real with yourselves. How many times has this situation been happened to you? Read again, Benaiah.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 verse 14. For a man's mind is sometime wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen.
How many times has this happened to you? Does it still happen to you a lot? Ask yourself. You don't have to, put yourself on blast. But how many times would your mind tell you something, but you'll have everybody else telling you something different? Right? They're not telling. When I say they're telling you something different, they're just telling you the opposite of what your mind is telling you. Everybody else that you go to is telling you the same thing. Brother, do this. Brother, do this. Sister, do this. Sister, do this. Everybody's telling you to do the same thing. And then what do? You do what you feel. You do what you think. You do what your mind tells you. And then what happens? What's usually the result of that? You screw yourself. You screw yourself. So, why is the scripture important right now? Well, it's important right now because we're supposed to be more aware of this. So guess what? If I go and I get counsel from you, and you're telling me do this, and somebody else is telling me, yeah, bro, you should definitely do that. But in your mind, you're like, I don't want to do that. This is where awareness and this is where maturity of the scriptures got to kick in and say, you know what? A man's mind sometimes wants to tell him more than 7 watchmen. Not even 4 watchmen watching every corner. The scripture says 7. Sometimes you would think 4 is enough, right? But scripture says 7 watchmen, a complete number of watchmen, will tell you hey, the enemy is coming. Don't do this. Don't do that. This is what it's going to lead to. Giving you all the different results of what's going to happen from this one messed up decision that you're about to make. And you make the decision anyways. And then what happens? You have to pay the consequence. You see that? So what we have to do better as Israelites, one way that we can avoid death is by just listening to counsel. By just listening to the watchmen and women that the Most High has around you. Go to Ecclesiastes 27:5. Oh, I had the scripture in here. Go to Ecclesiastes 27:5.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 27, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
The furnace proveth that the potter's vessels.
Uh-huh.
So the trial of man is in his reasoning.
Who wants to break this down? Who wants to take a little gander at, I don't even know if gander is a word. Who wants to take a gander of breaking down the scripture? Khan. But now I read that.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 27, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
The furnace proveth the potter's vessels.
The furnace is the heat that you test the strength of your material that you put in this vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have impurities, if you have bad materials in your vessel,
Mm-hmm.
the furnace is gonna show it.
Yep.
Read.
So the trial of man is in his reasoning.
Mm.
So whatever decisions you make and whatever reasoning you have is gonna come out in the trial of it.
Khan.
If you make a bad decision, or if your reasoning is off, your decision making is gonna be off.
Khan.
God. Bring it up. God.
Khan. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Because guess what? That vessel, the potter is the Most High. You're the vessel. And the furnace is going to prove you. So like Derek says, whatever impurities that you have on you, that furnace is going to burn off the impurities. You see what I'm saying? Or it's going to burn you up completely. So when it says that the trial is in a man, the trial of man is in his reasoning, where's that furnace at? As a man, as a woman, where's the furnace? Where's the fire?
Right. Where is it?
Yeah, where is it?
What's it?
He pointed out. He just took the pen and went. It's in your mind. The furnace is in your mind. Remember, whenever you deal with the scriptures ain't talking about like, all right, Derek. So I got this little fireplace right here. I might have to throw you in this fireplace real quick. we gonna burn off these impurities off of you. That's gonna happen later on. Not to you, of course, but you know, to the wicked. But listen, man, that furnace is your mind. That furnace is your mind. So it says the trial of man is in his reasoning, right? Your reasoning, you reason with yourself in your mind. So your trials come from your mind. Don't nothing gotta be a trial unless you make it. Don't nothing gotta be a problem unless you make it a problem. Like now, us being in the truth, us being Israelites using wisdom in the truth, right? Go look at people that's in the world and look at what it is that they're dealing with. And look at what they call a trial. You're gonna be like, your eyes is literally gonna do that. Like, you're gonna be like, what? You tripping over that? That's not what? You gonna hit him with the high pitched voice? What? What you tripping about? That's not a trial. Yashikar?
As you said that, you know that one meme of that Judah boy who was holding the cup, he's like, made that weird face like, bro, what?
God.
Bro.
That's my favorite meme. Talking about the one with the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I've been practicing that face, And that react, you know what I mean that is? Can you put it up there? If you can find it. He has the hat and he has the real big earrings. And I don't know if they were at a battle rap or something. And the guy said something and he's like, I've been practicing that because I want to hit people with that in real life. Bruh, that's how we be hitting people in the world though when we see when they talk about their trial. It's like, that's not even a trial. Well, to us it's not a trial. Why? Because we're on a whole nother level using the Most High Scriptures. On a whole nother level using the Most High Scripture. Our furnace is so turned up. Our fire is turned up. Like, us trying to keep this word and do everything that it is that we're supposed to do. You know, it's funny. People in the world have all the time in the world. Us in the truth, we don't have no damn time. We don't have no damn time for anything. We chase the time. You know how it was in the world when you was in PE? Or it was lunchtime, and you was at school, and it's like, golly, bro, lunchtime is over already. PE is over already. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the world, like, or you were doing something fun. It was prom night, homecoming at the school or whatever. And it's like, damn, it's like already over. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Oh, look, she pulled it up. That's it. That's it right there. Con, bro, like for us here being in the truth, bro, we don't have Con. He's a battle rapper. His name is Conceited. Conceited? Like he gave up? No, conceited. What does conceited mean? Oh, you're full of yourself. Damn, bro. You see, my grammar is trash. My grammar's trash. Let's go back to the scripture. So the trial of man. Read Ecclesiastes 27:5 again. And then somebody give me Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 11. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 27, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
The furnace proveth the potter's vessels. So the trial of man is in his reason.
So this is one thing we got to remember, man. Your trials is a trial because you make it a trial. It's in your reasoning. It's in the way you think. You see what I'm saying? If you submit yourself a lot of the times to whatever it is the Most High got in front of you, especially in regards to the truth, then it won't be a trial. It won't be a fight. A lot of times, man, things are a fight because we haven't submitted ourselves to what the Most High wants us submitted to. We haven't submitted ourselves to the cause. You see what I'm saying? So because we haven't submitted ourselves to it, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight for us. But again, it all starts in the mind. So go to Jeremiah chapter 18 and verse 11. This point right here is going to be titled, Look at the Results. So this is going to be, look at the results that our decision making has got us. So when that fire gets turned up and we're in that furnace and we're in there burning, pressure bust pipes, right? That's when the decision making truly matters the most. That's when that fire is turned up, man. When you're going through, that's when you got to cling more onto the Most High, like it says in Ecclesiasticus Chapter 2. Cling onto Him and depart not away. And if you ever think of it, whenever we read that, matter of fact, somebody get it. Go to Ecclesiasticus Chapter 2. We haven't been here in a while, right? Go to the verse that says, cleave onto Him. In Ecclesiastes Chapter 2.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 2, verse 3. Cleave unto Him. And depart not away. That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Where does it say? Ecclesiastes 2 and 2, and read verse 3 too.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 2, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright.
So guess what? Somebody read Ecclesiastes 27 and 5 again.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 27 and verse 5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel. So the trial of man is in his reasoning.
Now, I want y'all to think about this. Who, it was 3 people, that's the only hint y'all are getting. It was 3 people that was literally in this position right here. Who? You look like you have doubt, bro. You look like you have a little bit of doubt. I can't roll with you. Sis? Huh? 3 people? Ah, man, but who? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Like, you put your hand up. Doubting. Come on, man. Spirit of doubt. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was literally in this position. If y'all don't know, you could read about that in the book of Daniel, right? You could read about that in the prayer, in the Apocrypha. You can read about that when you read about that prayer. So when you read the book of Daniel, you had Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? They were cast into the furnace, right?
God.
Not like a spiritual furnace. They were literally cast into this furnace. But I want y'all to read Ecclesiastes Chapter 2, verse 2, because it says, Ecclesiastes 27:5 says, the furnace proveth the potter's vessels, right? So when they were cast into that furnace, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, why were they protected and why didn't they burn up to death? Sis?
Because the level of their faith.
The level of their faith. So guess what? You get cast into that furnace all the damn time. All the time you be in a furnace. Now I'm not just talking about the Houston weather. I'm not just talking about the Virginia and the Dallas and the Arkansas and the Atlanta. I'm trying to think of where brothers and sisters is at. The New York, the San Antonio, and I'm not talking about the heat that the sun gives you. I'm talking about real furnaces. You'll be cast into a furnace, but what will stop you from being burned? 1, your faith. First and foremost, it's going to be your faith. And it's also going to be, where's your mind at while you're in the furnace? Because when they got casted into the furnace, it was like, first of all, we have faith in the Most High. So if it's our time to go, it's our time to go, right? But their minds were so pure and they were so righteous that their minds never wavered while they were in that furnace. Because think about it. They get thrown into the furnace gets lit, they know, oh man, like we finna die. Right? Your mind could easily be like, damn, well let me do what the hell this king wants and let me not die. What would they do? They held on to faith. They held on to the Most High. They cleaved onto him. And they survived. Right? So now read Ecclesiastes Chapter 2, verse 2.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 2, verse 2.
We're going to see what they did. Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright.
So when you get thrown into the furnace, to avoid the ways of death, you got to set your mind aright. So what does that mean? You know, we read this all the time, but we don't ever like really, I'm going to say that we don't ever really like just think about it like that. Think about the fact that this happens daily. This Ecclesiastes Chapter 2, verse 2. You know, Kazaki was going over it yesterday in class, if y'all were watching, how when brothers sign for the Hebrew Academy, this is what they have to read. And then they sign for the Hebrew Academy, and then all sorts of things start happening. Well, those things happen if they have the worldly mindset. That fire does get turned up. But, see, this is the thing, man. If your mind is like already right, you'll sign, you would just sign and be like, whatever comes, comes. And when I say that, I mean like, it's going to happen anyways. You see what I'm saying? It's going to happen anyways. Set your mind right? So these brothers, when they got thrown into the furnace, they set their minds aright. How did they set their mind aright? Well, they know that the Most High will never forsake them. They knew that. So whenever we get thrown into the furnace, what do we have to remember? Well, the Most High isn't going to forsake me. Well, I can't pay my bills this month. I can't pay my rent this month. Well, the Most High, he's not going to forsake me. You see what I'm saying? He'll never forsake you. You get into some form of altercation with somebody and You exercise the scripture. Let me be peaceful. Let me be peaceable upon all men. Let me not avenge myself. If you set your mind right, then guess what's going to happen? The Most High will send you a ransom. He will send you somebody. You ain't going to fight. The Most High will send you somebody to fight for you. You see what I'm saying? You walk away, you exercise the scriptures, the Most High, He's going to protect you. You see what I'm saying? So when it says set your mind right, always set yourself back in your mind and remember the Most High has your back. You see what I'm saying? Read on.
And constantly endure.
Yeah, constantly endure. Keep pushing, keep fighting, keep moving. The Most High has your back. When has He not? That's why you're still breathing today. Go ahead.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
Yeah, man. Don't get all rash in your decision making. Don't start panicking. Don't be quick to turn away from the Most High. Don't make haste. You know how people like to be frantic? People like to be frantic in a situation of franticness. And then you make haste and you start forgetting stuff. You start tripping and falling. You just lose it. What happens when you make haste in time of trouble? You start moving so fast that you don't give yourself an opportunity to think. So guess what happens? You get in your emotions. And whenever you get in your emotions, what happens? You're in your feelings. You're not operating off of the flesh. And the spirit leaves you. When that happens, trust me, a scripture doesn't even come to your mind. People can be saying scriptures around you. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You already crashed. Mentally, you already crashed. That car has already crashed, man. Somebody just possibly crashed. You know, when it says may not haste in time of trouble, I want y'all to think. Say you're asleep, and I want everybody to answer this one. Say you're asleep, right? And the house is on fire. God forbid this happen. I pray this doesn't happen to anybody. Say you're asleep and the house catches on fire. What you gonna do? What's the first thought? Because think about it. You gonna wake up, you fresh out your sleep. Oh crap, the house is on fire. What is gonna be your thinking? You gonna make haste? Or are you gonna think rationally? I'm using that as an example. I'm gonna use another example. You ever seen somebody driving a car and you get into a situation where you're gonna get into an accident? Some people, things slow down. And it's like, yeah, I'm about to get into this accident, and things slow down. And the person in the passenger seat, they have no control. So they freaking all the way out. Right? They freaking all the way out. But you, for some people, things slow down, literally. And, you'll avoid the accident or whatever, right? But I'm giving those two little scenarios for you, right? Because what do? What's the first thing that you can't do? Freak out. You can't panic. Because when you panic, what is that showing?
You're scared.
You're scared. And what is your scared showing? If you're scared, what does that show?
Not prepared.
Not prepared. What else? It's another word I'm looking for.
You don't have faith.
You don't have faith. Wow, bro, Jeremiah. This guy is just hitting everything out the park right now. Right? So the first, let's just say you're asleep. Somebody wakes you up. The house on fire! Oh my God! The first thing you have to do is, let me have some damn faith. Right? That's first and foremost. Don't just react. And I'm just using the house on fire because that's kind of traumatic, right? But it's just with any situation. Let me not just react off of what's happening. First of all, let me have faith. The Most High has my back. And then let me think. Right? So, who wants to go? Somebody come wake you up, the house on fire. What you gonna do? what would you do? Let's make it good. It's a 2-story house, and you're upstairs. Fire's downstairs. What you gonna do? Let me know.
I'm gonna start throwing them out the window.
You gonna throw them out the window, bro?
I'm gonna throw her first and then throw them after that.
So you gonna throw the rib out the window?
Yeah, first.
Such a good husband. Online, you're in a 2-story house. The house catches on fire. What's the first thing you gonna do?
Wake everybody up.
I like that. So you gonna wake everybody up. Who else?
I'm gonna get my family, but I'm gonna get blankets and go to the nearest bathroom as fast as I can before any fire blocks it off. And I'm gonna wet them so that way I can put them around my family and they won't burn me.
See? Somebody's thinking. Thinking. Who else? Sis.
I'm gonna see where the fire is. Where is the fire? I mean, because I may not have to jump out the see where the fire is first. So I guess, find a source. Where is it? Where is the fire?
It's the reason I'm posing this question. Because, it's the first thing that you do have to do? Tell y'all the first thing that y'all got to do. Y'all really got to see, okay, is the fire in the backyard before I start throwing people out the window? Is it in the backyard? Is it just in the garage? So, the first thing I would do actually is what Derek said. I'm going to communicate. Listen, y'all, there's a fire. Wake the hell up. Wake up. It's a fire. It's not a joke. And then I'm going to go look like, okay, how bad is the fire? Right? Then after, okay, the fire is not that bad. Let's think. If the fire is really bad, then we got to do what Benaiah said. We got to get some blankets and go by a shower. If we can't go by a shower, then remember, your option is last. I'm going to wait for a fire truck with a ladder. Hey, but McCarter said try to relocate close. Try to relocate the closet safe exit. Get everybody out safely. You know why I say you got to inform people? Why? Because whenever a fire is happening, whenever a situation is happening, we always forget to communicate. Like, damn, I'm going through some ish right now. I'm going through some ish right now. Communicate, right? You communicate it to everybody. Like, listen, there's a fire. There's a fire. I'm going through some ish. Okay, how bad is the fire? Listen, the fire is really bad. The fire is here. It's not that bad, but you communicate it. Why do you communicate it? Well, the scripture says that the fervent prayer of the righteous clears your sin, right? It helps your sin. Then also you have to communicate it. Why? Because spirits jump like frogs. So if you're dealing with something, then somebody else could be dealing with something too. It'll start jumping, especially if you sit on it, right? So why am I saying all this? Well, I'm saying it because when that trial does come, and I use the fire in the house because that's some crazy ish, right? But think about it. Nobody's dealing with a fire in the house. So it should never get, it shouldn't get to where it's just crazy like that, to where, because you would think it's a fire, like, damn, okay, let me make haste. Like it says in Ecclesiasticus Chapter 2 and where does it say make not haste in time of trouble? 2 and verse 2. It says make not haste in time of trouble. So if your house is on fire, that's a time of trouble. You can't make haste. You got to actually think to be able to save everybody, right? Now, that's a super drastic situations, and a lot of the times what we're dealing with in the truth is not super drastic situations. It's not. But in our minds, we'll make it into a super drastic situation. You see that? So if your mind made it into a super drastic situation, then we still can't make haste. Can't make haste. We got to stop and think. Because think about it, whenever you making haste, that's when you screw up. You late for work, you start driving fast as hell, you get a speeding ticket, or you get 2 lights down and you're like, oh crap, where's my phone? Damn, I got to turn around. Right? You already know you're going to be late. Why the hell are you rushing? Why are you rushing? You're not going to make it. Why are you rushing? So scripture says, make not haste in time of trouble, right? Read verse 3.
Verse 3. Cleave unto him
And
depart not away.
So the scripture says, cleave unto him and depart not away. How do you cleave unto the Most High? Anybody? Can't like go up and give him a hug. How do you cleave unto the Most High? Anybody? How do you show that, Yahweh, I'm cleaving unto you?
Keep the faith.
You keep the faith. But how do you keep the faith? I know I'm asking a lot of questions right now. Jeremiah, bro, I know you got it, so I'm not even going to go to you. Angela? Angela?
You read the scriptures. The scriptures hold fast what the word says.
Great answer. That's how you cleave onto the Most High and depart not away. That's how you show you got faith. The scriptures and the different scenarios that you've read about in the Bible should come back to your mind. Also, you got to remember, man, we have each other for a reason. So you get to remember, like, damn, well, such and such was in a situation like this. You know what? Not just him, but a lot of people, a lot of brothers and sisters was in situations like this. So if they got this result, that means that I'm going to get the result. The result might not happen when I expect it to happen, but the result is going to happen. Why? Because it happened with them. You see that? So you'll cleave onto the Most High, man. You don't depart. You remember what it is that the Most High has promised for you. You remember the scriptures. You remember what happened with brothers and sisters that surround you, and brothers and sisters that was in the Bible as well. Right? Go ahead.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Yeah, man. That way you do get increased. That way you do get, you know, what it is that you expect. Now, damn, I really didn't go through a lot of this class. Go to Jeremiah 18:11.
Jeremiah 18:11.
I might have to two-part this.
Now therefore go to, speak to the men of Judah, and to the
Inhabitants.
inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, thus says the Lord, behold, I frame evil against you.
So this is the results of us. The scripture is called the ways of death, right? This is the result of us moving off of our mind. You see what I'm saying? This is the results right here. The Most High framed evil against us. Like, bruh, I gotta understand something, Brian. Scripture says the Most High framed evil against us. You know how scary that is? I saw a video recently of fire shooting up from the bottom of the ocean. How the hell does that happen? How the hell does that happen? 8 people just got gunned down by another Edomite. Who here lives by an Edomite? Who here has Edomites in your community? At any moment you can be taking out your trash. Edomite just, but I can't even say Edomites because I mean, bruh, the Israelite on Israelite crime is stupid too, right? But the scripture says that the Most High framed evil against us, and man, did he ever? Did he ever? And the cold thing is, man, is that we're seeing what the Most High is capable of doing. There was a volcano that erupted in Africa the other day, like 2 or 3 days ago. And these cats burnt alive. They burnt alive. Now, y'all know how slow magma moves. And that sucker burnt you alive. I don't mean to laugh. When you see magma rolling, you can walk by it. I don't mean to laugh, but the Most High, If the Most High frames evil against you, man, it's really scary. It's really scary, man. He'll make a slow-ass magma burn you to death. Like I said, like 14 people died. That magma came and destroyed the whole town. Now imagine you getting burnt by magma. That's a whole nother level than regular fire. You see what I'm saying? Every time we be having the same stuff on. So, every time. Never fails. Weird.
Part of your brain, brother.
So the Most High, the scripture says he framed evil against us. And you know how you know it's the Most High? Because the scripture tells you, man, if you're not dying of a common death, if it's not a common death, then you know the Most High did it. He wants you to know he did it. Just like the scripture says in Job, he prepared slaughter for his children, and when it happens, he's going to know it's the Most High. This evil that the Most High framed for us, when this evil hits, we know it's the Most High. Who else is it going to be? Like when you're getting burnt up by magma, you get burnt up by magma, and I can walk past magma. Bruh, the Most High wasn't messing with you. So it says the Most High framed evil against you. Go ahead.
And devise a device against you.
And he devised the device against us. Go ahead.
Return ye now, everyone from his evil ways.
Uh-huh.
And make your ways, and you're doing good.
You see that? And how do you make your ways and you're doing good and you're doing good? Well, you have to change your mentality unto the mentality of Yahweh Shai, of the scriptures. We all got to say it. Can everybody just say it one time? Mm-hmm. Can everybody just say, screw my opinion at the count of 3?
3.
Screw my opinion. Because guess what, man? Everything that you deal with came from your opinion. Everything that we deal with right now in our lives came from our thought process. How many of us wish that we were never introduced to things as kids? Never introduced to sex, never introduced to drugs, never introduced to a certain person, to a certain liquor, to certain whatever, right? But what made it stick to us? What made whatever it was that we were introduced to, that we have problems with to this day, stick to us? The mind. How we felt about it. Why? Because you liked it. You liked it. You liked hanging around a certain crowd, and that's why the certain crowd got you living the way you're living right now. Got you battling the things that you're battling right now. Think about if you got a felony on your record right now. Think about if you got a felony on your record. And you can't live in certain places because even though that happened like what? 2 decades ago? 3 decades? No, sorry, not even decades. 2 centuries ago? And you're not that person anymore? You still got to deal with it, right? It's the same way.
Residuals.
The residuals effects. It's the same way that the certain things that's in our mind, the certain choices that we made, we still got to live with it till this day. So right now, with us being in the truth and having wisdom, those choices of death, we shouldn't be making them. We shouldn't still be making them while we're in the truth. Sis?
It's kind of like when you talk to like guys or women who have probably been molested or raped or something like that, and the thing with them is that even though they were molested or raped or it was by the same sex, their body responded to it. So they think that it's okay because their body responded to it. So it's this confusion in their mind because their body responded, but it's still just the flesh. Mm-hmm. And so you know, when you talk to people who are like that, they think like, well, why would I enjoy it? Mm-hmm. But it's still just the flesh. So you don't have to keep going that way just because it's the flesh. That's why we have to constantly, fight.
Yep. Well said. Well said. That's that's how Satan has strength over us. That's like the main way that he has strength over us because of our feelings, how we feel in our emotions.
That's what hit me on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can go. Read on. Yeah. No. I was gonna say the statement I was gonna make real quick. You stay standing up though. Was that the only reason why Satan has an effect over us is because we like it. Satan can only play off of the flesh, the carnality. Who here had? Nobody has to raise their hands. You don't have to put yourself on blast. But who here had smoked cigarettes? Who here? Nah, bro, you didn't have to put your hand up.
No.
Who here did drugs? Who here alcohol? Pornography? Hoes, not just Bissonette hoes, just every hoe. For the women, sticks. Everything. Right? Like, who here, you knew this.
You're on Rivers like, what is he talking about?
No, because, you know that this dude, I used to, come on, man, I used to think of, certain chicks in high school, and I'm like, what the hell did you see in this guy? They're like, I don't know. Yeah. But it's the same thing with guys. What the hell did you see in her? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all that to say, it's the flesh. That's the only way that Satan can have an advantage over you. Do you like arguing? Some of us really got to ask ourselves, do we like being contentious in the household with our husband and our wife? Some of us like that. Some of us like that crap. It spices it up. It's too boring right now. We got to spice things up. We got to shake the room up a little bit. Let me not watch. Let me not cook. Let me burn the food. Let me do something to trigger this guy. Let me spice it up a little bit.
It'd be like that. But then you'll say the devil made me do it. When's the last time you seen the devil roll up a blunt? Smoke it. When's the last time you seen the devil argue with you? Or Satan argue? When's the last time Satan argued with you?
No.
Never, right?
No.
Yeah, Satan don't just and then he starts arguing or causing chaos. Mm-hmm. It's just going off of what he's saying. The things that we like, you give into it. Remember, when you read that, what is it, James, where he said, the temptations.
Oh yeah, when you're drawn away, you're drawn away
with
your own lust.
All Satan does is just present
what you like.
What you like at the moment. So it could be, I want to be contentious. I want to be in an argument. I want to be weak to whatever device or vice. He doesn't literally roll the blunt, light it, and put it in your mouth. He just brings you the sack. And he opens the bag and lets the smell fill the air for those that are weak to weed. Or he lets the booty jiggle extra hard in front of you as it walks by. Those that are weak to the women. You know, or the alcohol, he makes it taste extra crisp. The beer, now you get that real crispy beer. It's so crispy it almost burns.
Yeah.
Your tongue, ever so slightly, on a scorching hot 95-degree Texas day, right? All the bros know that feeling. But he give you that feeling in the middle of the night. It ain't scorching hot. Why is this beer so satisfying? But not, okay, so they all gonna taste like that. All 30-pack. All 30 of them in one night. You know, all the devices that we deal with. It's Satan, he just pushes it in your direction and you got to know how to sidestep it. Or else it is you giving into your lust and your like.
Con. Yep. And then this is what we do. Read Jeremiah 18 and 12.
Jeremiah 18 and 12.
And remember when we read earlier about the mind being deceitful above all things? This is what happens right here. Read verse 12.
Remember?
And they said, there is no hope, but we will walk after our own devices.
Yeah, we literally give up. Or we're like, you know what, man, screw it. I'm going to do whatever I want. Or you might not literally say it like that, but what happens is your mind makes an excuse and makes up a reason for you to justify what it is that you're about to do.
Read it one more time. The reason is right. The excuse is right there. Read it one more time from the top.
Okay.
And they said, there is no hope.
Yeah, there's no hope. There's no way around. There's no way to sidestep what I need to sidestep. There's no way to avoid it. I just gotta dive in.
Yeah.
There's no way for me to not fight. There's no hope. Remember, you were talking about doubt earlier and how doubt is the first killer.
Yeah.
or doubt leads you right to that death. But that's it. The doubt in your hope, the doubt that there is a way, that the Most High gives you a choice. Once you do doubt, that's it. There is no hope, and then you automatically fall to your own devices.
Okay.
So the excuse is the Most High is not with me in this. He brought me here, so he can't be with me. He brought you here to show you that you can fight, that there is hope. You just got to first believe it and then execute the thought.
Con.
Go ahead.
Con.
We will walk after our own devices, and we will, everyone, do the imagination of his evil heart.
Con.
Damn.
And that's what we do. That's what we do. So, comment. I still have a lot, so we'll part 2 this class.
Yeah, we're going to do a part 2. We got an order of business to just talk about real quick. Hakawa, step to the middle. Somebody get me Psalms 75 and 6.
God.
Brother
Book
done
of Psalms.
pass his test.
God.
Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 6.
Go ahead.
For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west,
Right.
nor from the south,
Right.
but Yahweh is the judge.
Right. So, once again, the brother Hakawa. How long you been with the camp?
Since like last July,
Okay. So what is that? A year? What is that?
Almost.
About a year.
like 10 months.
So it shows you that in 10 months, you don't have to be. We've had brothers that have been here 15,000 years.
15,000 centuries.
15,000 centuries, and they tarry from day to day. This brother, he came in with in Virginia, and just like all new brothers, still got a lot to learn. But the key to this brother is his humility, and I'm telling y'all this straight out. For him to be able to come after 10 months, dedicate himself, pass his test, it's just humility. He's willing to hear, he's willing to listen,
Yes, he is.
and the Most High rewards that. It's not me wanting to promote him. It ain't me wanting to make him look good. I was ready to fail him. I wanted him to fail so he could do it again, but he didn't. He made 2 mistakes on that test where you can make thousands of mistakes. Okay? So
Yeah.
he dedicated, he studied, and the Most High gave him the mind and put it in his mind to be humble and to dedicate himself to studying that test.
Con, bro.
Go ahead. Read it.
He put down one
Right?
and set up another.
Right. So, I like this scripture because it shows you as soon as the Most High is ready to replace somebody, he's stepping in the arena to ready to replace someone that's not taking the job serious. We did the class about being childish on Monday, and what you have to realize in what you're undertaking as a soldier is that you gotta take things serious. You gotta take this serious, or else as quickly as you've been brought up, the Most High, he'll drop you right down if you don't take it serious. And that's for all of us. That's even for me. I mean, somebody's sitting around ready to be the leader of this school if I don't take it serious. Y'all see that? So we got to make sure that we take it serious. We take this office serious. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
No, go to Luke 12:48.
And I was gonna say also.
God.
I was gonna say also, just off of the point that he's making, like the Most High don't need us. The scriptures say the Most High will raise up stones. Mm-hmm. He'll raise up stones. And he Most High do be raising up stones. They be finding stones all over the place with the Hebrew words. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Like showing that the Native Americans was the real Israelites, all that, right? The Most High, when you see that the scripture is real. The Most High can raise up stones if he need to. You know what I'm saying? The Most High can do whatever he wants. The Most High doesn't need us. It's a privilege. They always say it like in sports. It's a privilege to play basketball. It's a privilege to play football. It's not a privilege. That ain't nothing. It's a privilege for us to do what it is that we're able to do, because not everybody gets this. Our family, our friends, they don't understand what it is that we understand. They weren't called for this like how we were called for it. So it's a privileged opportunity for us to be here, and not only be here, but for the Most High to bless us with the mindset of, let me be diligent and humble and put in the work to pass a soldier's test. You know what I'm saying? To be diligent in whatever it is that the Most High gives us. This is a privilege, and we can't take it for granted like we're owed something. We're not owed nothing. This is a debt that we can't repay. You see what I'm saying? The Most High bought us. We were slaves here in America. Yahweh Shai bought us with the price of his blood. We're servants. You see what I'm saying? Yes, he freed us mentally from the captivity here in America, but we're still servants to Yahweh Shai. We were bought with the price of his blood. We're servants. So now with you being a soldier and coming up more, you're more of a servant. You see what I'm saying? It's not like less work, it's more work.
It's more work. Read Luke 12:48.
The book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much
And this is the point. Unto whomsoever much is given, go ahead,
is given,
Uh-huh.
of him shall be much required.
Right, so getting rank, and this is going to sound repetitive for a lot of y'all, but getting rank is not the opportunity to kick back, relax, and chill. The much is given, the more is going to be required. All right? From there, go to 1 Timothy 4:12. And this is what you got to remember. No, Yashikar, you read that.
God.
1 Timothy 4 and verse 12. And remember, you're a young bro. How old are you again? 22 years old. So there's going to be a lot of men that are older than you that are going to look at your age and say, well, this man's not qualified. So how do you get the qualification and keep the qualification? Well, taking the test is one thing, but living that test is a whole different thing. Here it is. Read.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12.
S.O.W.
Let no man despise thy youth.
Right? He said what?
Let no man despise thy youth.
Go ahead.
But be thou an example of the believers.
It's about being an example. Your age should never come into question as long as your example's on point. That's what we live off of, is the standard of 1 Timothy's the 3rd chapter, right? So, or 2 Timothy's 3, Salah. So your example, you always have to remember and keep in mind who's watching. Go ahead.
In word.
In what?
Word.
Right. So the things that I speak, you gotta and this is not just for you. This is for all of us. You gotta watch the words that come out of our mouths. Go ahead.
In conversation.
We gotta watch our conversations. They gotta be godly. They gotta be edifying. They gotta be uplifting and building. Go ahead.
In purity.
In what?
Charity.
Go ahead.
In spirit.
Read.
In faith.
Come on.
In purity.
Right. So your example has to be top notch in all these things. For that way no one can come back and say, well, he's too young. How can he lead? How can he tell me, give orders and things of that nature? Your age, the Most High don't look at that. He look at the spirit. Go ahead, read.
Till I come give attendance to reading.
Go ahead.
To exhortation.
Right, so reading. We all got to be doing this. Reading, exhortation, building and uplifting one another. Go ahead.
To doctrine.
To what?
Doctrine.
You got to know that you know that you know that you know. We always say that, right? Read.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
Right, and your name is Hakawa, the gatherer. So that's what you do. For some reason, they flock. So, but the thing is, with that, you don't want them to be the guy that you flock to because you're a cosigner for their nonsense. You got to be a guy that when they flock to you, you know how to deal with them. the outsiders, right? The brothers that came with you and left, right? I'm not, you know who I'm talking about, right? And there's going to be many others. But, all right? And that's going to propel you into your officership. Get in the middle. Let's circle them up. Again, we always do this online. Why? We try to push and motivate brothers out there and show you that it doesn't have to take 15 years. And think about it. We weren't in Virginia, and then we are in Virginia. He took advantage of that. He took advantage of that. So you got a lot of brothers online that's like, well, y'all not in my spot. Well, hopefully when we get to your area, you take advantage of it and do with the word what it is you want to do with the word, what the Most High wants us to do with the word. All right? So we do it online, not to, again, shame anyone else, but to show that the Most High, his spirit is moving, brothers are increasing, and how? It's diligence, it's humility, it's consistency. The brother's willing to hear, he's willing to listen, and that's going to take him a long way. So go ahead, let's salute him out. Salute him in.
Okay. Saluting out, trooper, Hakawa. Saluting in, soldier, Hakawa. Men of Israel, Amadi, Barak. Yahweh
Hashem Yahushua Brakadam.
Who Mr. Runner? Who Mr. Runner? Who Mr. Runner? Who Mr. Runner? Who Mr. Runner?
Get my top. Let's salute the sisters. We might as well, right? And then he can get his pounds after. Let's just salute the sisters, and then we'll sign off.
Still gotta say prayers. Oh, we should sign off.
Yeah, it's all good. Go ahead.
Saluting out the daughters of Zion.
Top. Dismiss. I will see y'all out there in YouTube land in August. All right? Let's say shalom.
Shalom!
Bro, show some love.
Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. I woke up from my arrest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah.